Every time that you spend money on yourself or spend money, period, do you hear a little voice saying, shouldn't do that, don't spend the money, and you feel guilty because you bought a new pair of shoes or some other item that you may have actually needed, not just wanted? This conversation, let's talk about the money guilt, why it happened, and what we can do to break that cycle and figure out how to actually spend money on ourselves without feeling guilty. I'll be honest, been married twice. First marriage, young and stupid, but I thought I was supposed to sacrifice to let him have all of the little trinkets and toys that he wanted. I thought it was my duty as a woman. Even though I worked, we made neck and neck money. Well, again, young, stupid. But with that said, I developed a habit of putting everyone else's in the household needs before mine, and I felt guilty. Even when I had scrimped and saved and budgeted to actually spend on myself. Why was that? The first thing I had to do is try to understand the money guilt. Where did it come from? How can I deal with it? So looking back to my upbringing, I was raised to be a Southern belle in spite of myself. Trust me, there's nothing delicate and demure about me. But I have watched various self-denying traits surface throughout my life that goes back directly to the examples that were set for me by grandparents, as far as my grandmothers, my great aunts, my mother, the society in general, that women gave up of themselves as a show of love, their love language, to allow the men to thrive and more than survive, to make sure the children had what they wanted. And we women denied ourselves in a self-sacrificing way to ensure that everybody else had what they needed but you. So you may now find yourself an empty nester. You may actually be a solo now. It is still difficult to spend money on yourself because you believe you should still be spending money on others. So you need to realize, like I did, that I'm an independent woman. I make my own money. I pay my own bills. I'm pretty sure there's been pop songs written about this. And it's okay to buy a new pair of shoes if I need it, to buy new underclothes just because the elastic shot, the ones I've been wearing for the past 8 years. Whatever the reason, you deserve it. You have the money. You are not neglecting anything in your life by doing this. We need to get over ourselves and be kinder to ourselves. Part of understanding what your hesitations are rooted in gives you the power to separate your needs from this feeling of shame. Sometimes in the past, we've not done the adult and or the intelligent things with our money, and there's shame associated with that. I personally have made loans which turned out to be gifts unbeknownst to me, and there's shame in knowing that I was taken advantage of. I have also, on occasion, retail therapied. I wouldn't say I went into debt with the retail therapy, but definitely ended up with a lot of stuff I didn't need, nor could I even remember why I actually bought it. What did I like in it? So there's shame in that as well. Yes, most of it gets returned. Some of it, though, hangs out and reminds me of the stupidity. So there are valid needs that I know I need to spend money on myself on. Then there's also the retail therapy, the shopaholic, instead of crawling into a bag of Thin Mints or a bag of Oreos, I crawled into QVC. It happens. We have to forgive ourselves and do better. Something that really liberated me and set me free was when I started budgeting as a habit, as a tool. I actually put in line items for my budget for an amount of money a month that I'm going to spend on clothing. I don't always go out every month and buy clothing or put away every paycheck a little bit toward when I do need to go shopping, and the money's there. So that is guilt-free spending. As long as I don't go over the amount of money that I have there, and I will tell you straight up, I was a cash envelope user. I did not trust myself with a debit card. Math in my head has never been a strong point, but I can tell you, if I've only got $260 in my grocery envelope for the entire month, when that money starts to dwindle and or runs out, I know I've got to get creative with what ingredients I have at the house, or I need to stop the fun spending on food, hunker down and make myself a meal plan and figure out exactly what I need to buy to complete that meal plan. If you've ever been in the situation where spending money on yourself is challenging, makes you feel guilty, have you done things with your money that you unexpectedly felt shame because you spent money that way versus another way? And it didn't make any sense because you see people in your life all day long buying themselves a new pair of shoes or a new shirt, whether it was on sale or at a thrift store, at a yard sale. It doesn't matter. The shame of doing what you perceive to be incorrect use of your money and or the guilt for spending money on yourself versus someone else in your household. Duh. It is time that you and I gave ourselves permission to treat ourselves as well as we treat everybody else around us. The saying that you have to love yourself first, very true. Y'all keep coming back. I have got a little to say about a lot of stuff. I'm Jenny. I got a little to say about a lot of things. On Wednesdays, I usually talk about mindset around money, helping us develop the tools and the skills to move forward and live our best, most unapologetic, independent, peaceful life. And then on Saturdays, I talk a lot about retirement, preparing not just dollars, but cents as well, and how we can live our best life that we have worked so hard to get to. And this is going to be not just making sure your bank accounts and your money is stacked up, but that you pay attention to your health and your longevity because you want to be as healthy and as strong for as long as you possibly can. Our bodies are going to wear out, but let's help them stay as fit as possible from this day forward. Can I get an amen? All right, you guys come back soon. Stop recording.